All right, we'll go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, never mind. Hold on one sec. All right, we'll go ahead and get this meeting started for capital projects and bond oversight, January 21st, 2021. Glad to have a few people out there remotely, and we want to welcome a bunch of new members. We kind of cleaned house there, stuck with still me and Senator Girdler and Senator McDonald. Who is it? McDaniel, I'm sorry. So still got us, but we want to welcome, Senator Jason Howell. I think he's out there in cyberspace, but he's down in my neck of woods, down in Murray, I believe, and we both share Trigg County, so we're glad to have you on board, sir.
Thank you.
And we're glad to have Senator Webb, Robin Webb, who's here in person with us. We're always glad to see you. And, of course, in a sec, we're going to elect this guy, hopefully co-chairman in a bit. But Representative Chris Freeland, we're glad to have him. He's in person also. We got a big inauguration party for him scheduled right after this. And then Representative Reginald Meeks, he is not able to be on, I think, a funeral. So we will welcome him again next meeting. And then, of course, Representative Petrie there, our chairman. We're always glad to have you, and we appreciate all you do. You got a little bit of task with the A&R there, so glad to have you part of this also. Thanks. So what we'll do is, if y'all want to join us out there, we'll stand and do the pledge real quick, and then we'll get on with the agenda. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Well, right off the bat, I think we're going to go ahead and do elections of the House co-chair. So at
Chairman
this...
Thomas, I would move that Chris Freeland serve as the co-chair for the House.
Awesome. We have a motion for Chris Freeland to serve as the House co-chair, and I will second that and not put him on the spot of seconding his own motion there, or motion. So is this roll call, or is it?
No, actually, is one needs to make a motion from a House member that nomination cease and that Representative Freeland be elected by acclamation.
Jason, you want to do that?
I'll make a motion the nomination cease.
All right, and we will nominate him by acclamation. Congratulations, Chris. You can see me bumble through it this time, and then in a couple months it'll be yours. All right, thank you, Representative. All right, we'll go ahead and move right on to the agenda. Let's see, we got the introductions. Oh, wait, we better call roll call, see who's here. Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Yes, and if you could tell me where you're at, if you're in your district or if you're upstairs, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Senator Girdler.
Senator Girdler, you out there? Give him a sec to unmute. Did he ever get his...
All right, am I unmuted now?
There you are. You're unmuted.
All right, I'm out here. I'm in La La Land. I'm in Jennifer's neck of the woods of Platte County. I'm home.
Okay.
Thank you. Senator Howell.
Here, remotely.
Senator McDaniel. Senator Webb. Thank you. Representative Freeland. Representative Meeks. Representative Petrie.
Present remotely from my annex office.
Representative Thomas presiding.
Yes, ma'am. All righty. We appreciate that. Now we'll go ahead. We have the minutes from December's meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
I so move.
All right.
Girdler.
We have a motion by Senator Girdler and a second by Representative Freeland. All in favor signify by aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right. We'll
Aye.
move to item number 4. And Miss Catherine, if you want to just report, these don't need any votes on them, but she can just at least report on some of these information items.
Pursuant to KRS 26A 168-1, KRS 45793, and KRS 45818, the Administrative Office of the Courts, the Finance and Administration Cabinet with the Commonwealth Office of Technology reporting independently, and post-secondary institutions managing their own capital construction under KRS 164A 580, transmitted quarterly capital project status reports. Pursuant to KRS 45812-1, the Kentucky Interlocal School Transportation Association reported its annual issuance to finance acquisition of school buses, and the Boone County, Lewis County, and Washington County school districts, none of which needed an additional tax levy to pay debt service, reported upcoming debt issues to finance new projects, and the Carter County School District reported an upcoming refunding debt issue. Pursuant to KRS 48111-6A, the Division of Real Properties reported an invitation to lease space for the Kentucky Commission on Human Rights in Louisville. Pursuant to KRS 56813-2A-3B and KRS 56823-11A, the Finance and Administration Cabinet's Division of Real Properties reported leasehold improvements under $10,000 and square footage lease modifications under $50,000. The School Facilities Construction Commission reported school district debt issues with SFCC participation that closed in the last quarter.
Thank you, Catherine. And for those new members out there, when you attend the meetings in person, the ladies here do such a wonderful job. They kind of give us some green sheets highlighting the project that you can flip to the green tabs. And so it makes it a little easier to follow along. I know there's a lot of information. Behind each green tab is kind of a summary, and then if you look even farther, you can see all the supportive paperwork. So it's very helpful. Out there in cyber world, I'm not sure how it works, but I think you actually tab it too, also in the electronic one too. So it kind of helps you move along a little bit and follow through. So, all right. So we're going to move on to item number 5. And Sandy Williams, you out there? Sandy's here.
Hi, good afternoon,
There
Mr. Chair.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
We'll go ahead and move on. And if you would, I know we just kind of introduced yourself, but if you could, just for the record, and then we'll just move on to item number 1, and we'll vote after that one.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members. I'm Sandy Williams, Deputy Executive Director with the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority. Today, our first item is the City of Hopkinsville for the benefit of the Hopkinsville Water Environment Authority. They're seeking a Fund A loan increase in the amount of $5 million for the planned multi-phased wastewater treatment plant renovation and expansion project at their Hammond Wood wastewater treatment plant. The initial funding tranches for this project were approved by KIA and this committee and total $9 million. This increase will bring the total loan amount to $14 million. And the total funding package is $48.3 million, with KIA to provide $45 million over 8 years. The original terms remain the same, with a loan term of 20 years and an interest rate of 0.5%. The current 4,000 gallon rate for sewer in Hopkinsville is $32.78. This loan increase was approved at the January 7th KIA board meeting, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
All right. Does anyone have any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve. This is my town. Come on, guys. Okay. We have a motion by Representative Freeland. Do we have a second?
Second, Girdler.
All right. Thank y'all. All right. Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Senator Girdler.
Aye.
Thank you. Senator Howell.
Aye.
Thank you. Senator McDaniel. Senator Webb. Thank you. Representative Freeland. Thank you. Representative Meeks. Representative Petrie.
Jason, did we lose you?
Got 4. Well, we need yours.
And then myself will be 5, yeah.
So we can get his
We'll
later.
come back to him in a second.
Chairman Thomas.
Aye. All right. We'll come back to Chairman Petrie in a little bit and see if...
I was going to say yes. I could not get my button to activate.
Okay.
Sorry.
So we do have a yes on that. We were going to come back to you later on if so. So, all right. Thank y'all. That does pass. So we'll move on. Ms. Williams, if you would please report on item number 2, and that way you can flip your green tabs if you have them.
Thank you. The City of Albany is seeking a Fund F loan in the amount of $2.5 million for the Duval Valley Area Water System Improvements Project. This project will fund the replacement of 30,000 linear feet of undersized water lines, upgrades to an existing water booster pump station, and construction of a new 500,000 gallon water storage tank to alleviate water shortage problems in the area. This will be a 30-year loan with an interest rate of 0.25% and estimated annual debt service payments of $92,799. The current 4,000 gallon rate for water in Albany is $29.02. This loan was approved at the January 7th KIA board meeting, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
All righty. Are there any questions for Director Williams? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
All right. Had a motion. Do we have a second? We got a second. All right. Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Senator Girdler.
Aye.
Thank you. Senator Howell.
Aye.
Thank you. Senator McDaniel. Senator Webb. Thank you. Representative Freeland. Thank you. Representative Meeks. Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Thank you. Chairman Thomas.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. That is approved. We appreciate you being out here in Cyber World, Miss Williams, and we will hopefully see you next month also.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. I see Executive Director Barrow on there, so we'll go ahead and move on to Office of Financial Management. Our first action does require action, and if you could please report, or I think you have a guest that you wanted to introduce too. Is that correct?
Chairman, we do have a guest, but that is for Kieslick. That will be
farther down. Okay.
Items as a follow-up report.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. So if I may start for the first transaction for consideration day is the University of Kentucky. This is a refunding transaction. We're going to take out the 2014 Bs, which originally funded the Gatton College of Business and Economics. That facility is very nice. It was not as nice when I went to school there. But we are estimating a par amount of $25.7 million with the true interest cost just above 2%. There will be no extension of the final maturity, and the net present value savings is about 8.1% estimated, which is high for a delivery, or in terms of dollars, it's about $2.2 million in savings accrued to the university. In 2020, we saw a lot of things unique in the muni market with a lot of supply, but it was digested really well. Some new products such as this I would equate to the Moorhead transaction that was recently before this committee. And UK is electing to take upfront savings versus savings over time. And it was sold via competitive bid, via an RFP, but it will be a negotiated sale ultimately. The financing fees are in the packet. And the University of Kentucky has elected to take the upfront savings. The savings will be considered bond proceeds and restricted to capital projects. They've given us a list of projects they identified, some infrastructure that needs funding. And their logic is the upfront savings will allow them to do some projects versus, having to space some of these projects over time, which was the same reason Moorhead elected to take the upfront savings. And just in short, there's some projects at the Peterson Service Building. There's various around campus, the College of Ag. There's some other projects they've identified for the savings. Clearly, the needed infrastructure far exceeds the savings, but this will allow them to take a bite out of that infrastructure. Happy to take any questions.
Alrighty, are there any questions for Executive Director Barrow? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion. We have
so moved.
We have a motion and a second. All right, Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Senator Girdler.
Aye.
Thank you. Senator Howell.
Aye.
Thank you. Senator McDaniel. Senator Webb. Thank you. Representative Freeland.
Aye.
Thank you. Representative Meeks. Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Thank you. Chairman Thomas.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So I think the next ones you're going to report on a little bit. There's no action required, but Ryan, if you want to keep going.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I apologize. I had Moorhead on the brain when I was talking about UK. Actually, the upfront savings was Eastern. Moorhead was in my brain because it's the next agenda.
Next item, sure.
Is a follow-up report, series 2020 refunding was par amount about $4.87 million with a rate at about 2.29% on it. And that's the tick that I'm quoting. It was a competitive sale, negotiated transaction. In the packet, we asked the advisors as well as the university to report some leases that they did in conjunction. I've supplied a legal opinion to staff. We might have some follow-up discussions with bond counsel, but they used the General Leasing Act. I wanted those included because it was in conjunction in terms of the overall savings of $1.3 million. So our reporting today, to be specific, is on the bond transaction, but for convenience, we asked the additional two bank transactions that were done under the Leasing Act to be included in the packet. So I'm happy to take questions or move on to student loan.
We'll go ahead and see if there's any questions on each item. Does any member have any questions on item number A, the Moorhead State University bond? All right, sir. Let's go ahead and move on to the second one then, Kentucky Higher Education.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, this is where we'll have David Carlson speak in a minute. Just wanted to recap the normal components of the transaction. This transaction is for Kentucky Higher Education Student Loan Corporation. This is an asset-backed transaction to purchase various FFELP loans. There was three tranches, a senior series, a 1A, another senior series, a 1B. Both of those were taxable. The Bs were a floating rate, and a subordinate taxable floating rate. The par amount of the transaction was $422 0.6 million. The pricing was done November 19th with a tick at the time is a 1.6%, obviously variable rate benchmarked off LIBOR, but that was at closing. The financing team, the fees, et cetera, is in the packet. And I do believe Catherine had asked David Carlson to speak briefly on the FELP program. So I'll turn it over to him at this point.
Okay, thank you. For Kieslick, essentially has two different loan programs. One is the FELP loan program. Program was discontinued for new loan originations in 2010. However, for lenders such as Kieslick, there are what we call legacy loan portfolios of FELP loans. And so in other words, in 2010, all new federal loans were made directly by the federal government. But those existing loans still remained on the balance sheets of lenders such as Kieslick. And there are some abilities to acquire new FELP loans, or not new FELP loans, excuse me, existing FELP loans that were made before 2010 through purchasing of loan portfolios, and also through the ability to rehabilitate borrowers who have defaulted. So let me give you an example. If I had a Stafford loan that was made by Kieslick prior to 2010, and let's say I failed to pay that loan and defaulted, then Kieslick would file a claim with its sister agency, Kia, and Kia would pay the insurance on that to Kieslick. They'd pay the claim, and then Kia would be reinsured by the federal government. Kia can then attempt to rehabilitate those borrowers, to put those borrowers back in good standing. And so if those borrowers make on-time payments for 9 months, then Kia can sell that loan back to a lender such as Kieslick. And so Kieslick does acquire on a weekly basis those types of rehabilitation loans from its sister agency, Kia. And so you can have, you can acquire rehab loans, you can acquire loan portfolios, and then a large driver of the transaction that you're seeing before you was a restructuring that was required as a part of the end of LIBOR and as a part of some action that rating agencies took beginning in 2015 to the industry as a whole, the FELP industry. So the primary driver of the transaction that was closed in November was that restructuring, but there were also components of financing those rehabilitation loans that we acquire on a weekly basis. So we'll acquire those with short-term financing and then seek to permanently finance those generally every 1 to 2.5 years, when we would do either a market transaction such as this. In the November transaction was a market transaction. We also have some direct purchase note transactions with single investors, but both are essentially what Ryan described as floating rate, where it's indexed to 1 month LIBOR, be it the market transactions or those direct purchase notes. So let me pause there. You try to walk the fine line of not getting too detailed with that, but let me pause right there and see if there's any questions that I can help answer.
All right. Are there any questions for Mr. Carlson? You must have explained it well then. So, all righty. If not, that's not an action item. So we can move on to Kentucky Asset. And Ryan, are you discussing this one too?
Yes, sir. I will be back on for the last reportable item. The Kentucky Asset Liability Commission sold project notes 2020. These are Federal Highway Trust Fund dollars. So it is what we would call commonly federal highway dollars that come to the state for construction projects. A number of those were securitized. In this case, we're taking out the 2010 notes. The par amount was $59.4 million. We priced this the 18th of November. We closed it the 16th of December. The tick was a 0.515. So as I said, 2020 brought a lot of things, and it brought historically low rates. We were able to take advantage of those rates and negotiate this transaction with Citigroup for a 4.7% savings. Now, in my career, a 4.7% savings is a very healthy savings, but in recent history, that's probably a little low. But I want to point out that it was a final maturity of 9/1 of 2022. So it really is kind of amazing that we were able to achieve $2.9 million of savings. I'd equate it to refinancing your house. Very few people would refinance your house with less than 2 years on your mortgage. It would typically not be economical. However, with these historically low rates, we were able to take advantage of that refunding that was less than 2 years, save the money, and it'll benefit transportation construction in the Commonwealth. They will be able to reprogram those dollars for other projects rather than servicing debt. So happy to take any questions on that transaction.
Well, that is quite the savings for just a couple of years, so that's amazing. Do we have any questions on that item? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move into item number C. We have, I think, 3 projects? 5 total. At this time, what we can do is a lot of y'all might not be familiar, but we can actually vote this on as a block of all 5 at the same time. If there's nothing, I don't think there's anything that makes any of these out of the ordinary. So what we'll do is I'll entertain a motion to roll all 5 together, and then that way Madam Secretary only has to call roll one time. So is there anyone like to make? We have a motion by Representative Petrie. Is there a second?
Second, Girdler.
Second by Senator Girdler. All right, so these are rolled in, and so Ryan, what we'll do is feel free if you're out there, if you want to pipe in, if you have a question as Executive Director Barrow is speaking, we can kind of answer the questions as we go, but we'll let you just move on through all 5 unless anyone has a question.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. For consideration today are 3 new money transactions and 2 refundings. Of the new money, we have Hopkins County, McLean, and Todd County. Their new money proceeds are in the packet. We typically look at it on the aggregate. So those 3 new money projects, par is estimated at $28 million, with about 83% being local supported and 17% be SFCC, where the state subsidizes that debt service. There's no tax increase necessary for any of the new money projects. And turning to the 2 refundings, we have Augusta Independent and Washington County. That is about $11.8 million in estimated par, with, again, the majority being local, 87.6 and 12.4 being SFCC supported. There's no tax increase necessary to fund the refundings as well. I guess with that, I'd like to welcome the new members and look forward to working with you in the future, and happy to take any questions on any of these K through 12 school bond deals.
All righty. Do we have any questions out there? I know Representative Petrie is kind of interested in that Todd County one there, but no questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve all 5.
So moved.
I heard that from Representative Petrie. Do we have a second? Second by Representative, soon-to-be co-chairman Freeland. All right. Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Senator Girdler.
Aye.
Thank you. Senator Howell.
Aye.
Thank you. Senator McDaniel. Senator Webb. Thank you. Representative Freeland. Thank you. Representative Meeks. Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Thank you. Chairman Thomas.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. Director Barrow, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate everyone for being online or here in person. And we do want to make note the next meeting is going to be February 17th, and it's going to be upon adjournment of both chambers. And then we'll also finish up on March 16th upon adjournment of both chambers. I know there's still a few days that we're going to have to pick from, so those could change if we're not meeting one of those days or anything like that if we're not already up here. But right now we'll go on that, and it's been an honor to serve as your co-chair these last couple of years. And with that, I'm turning the reins over, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. All right, we stand adjourned. Thanks for being here.